First position that I want to look at here based on who they had in for visits and who I like the most in the class, we are going to look at cornerback. All right, so cornerback, Brad Holmes is on record as saying the cornerback class is normal. In other words, he's saying it is exactly kind of what he thought it would be. Totally normal. This is what corners could look like. I think some of us have viewed this as a weaker class, maybe not. When you look at this group of players, maybe they don't have the initial star power, or maybe that's just because Quinyon Mitchell is out of Toledo. So we don't feel like it has the star power, but it does. Like, there are a lot of really good players here. When you look at Quinyon Mitchell, Terrion Arnold, Cooper DeJean, Nate Wiggins, Kool-Aid McKinstry, I think that is the first set. All right, so I think Mitchell and Arnold probably in a state of their own, and then you go DeJean, Wiggins, McKinstry in that next grouping. Then after that, it's pick your poison. What do you like? All right, do you like Rakestraw or Sainra still? All right, do you like an outside corner who is a tackling guy, or an inside projected nickel corner who also can do a little bit of everything? By the way, when you see these guys, Sainra still spent a lot of time on the inside, but that doesn't mean that that's where he is going to be. Now, if you're wondering who did we have in for the visit, the answer is all of them. In our top 30 visits, so they came into our facilities, we had Kool-Aid McKinstry, all right, who's 27 on the big board. We had Stiggers out of the CDFL, all right, Quintez Stiggers. We had Terrion Arnold, who's 14 on the big board. We have Andrew Phillips, all right, out of Kentucky, who's 86. We had Enos Rakestraw, who's 39. You got Kalen Carson, who's not even on this one. Okay, you got Nehemiah Pritchett, who's, believe it or not on this one. And Mikey Sainra still. We've had all of them in for a visit. You can add a couple more on the local day, and then you can add Quinyon Mitchell, all right, who is the top-rated corner by pretty much everybody who's there. So here's my question. What do you want to do? Would you like to trade up for a corner and go after a Quinyon Mitchell or a Terrion Arnold and give up probably that first-round pick and maybe even a first-round pick next year? Or could you trade up and give up a second-round pick this year and a first-round pick next year? These are the kind of questions that you have to ask yourself. Or are you happy staying and hoping that Kool-Aid McKinstry or Nate Wiggins or Cooper DeJean, one of those guys, fall to you? Are you happy taking a Mike Sainra still? Are you happy taking that? Remember, the Detroit Lions have picks 29, 61, and 73. 29, 61, and 73. They have a lot of ammunition. So are you happy waiting and maybe getting a Chris Abrams drain? Are you happy with an Andrew Phillips or a Max Milton that might be around? I don't think TJ Tampa is still going to be around. I think his measurables are just too good. So when I look at this, if I'm going the cornerback route, if you're waiting, all right, if you're waiting, you have to be okay with having one of these caliber type guys. I think if you go corner, you go after it, but it's just so hard. 29 is, it feels like, unless you think Wiggins or McKinstry is your guy, it almost feels like this dead area where it's almost impossible to pick them at 29. So I could see us trading up or even trading back and just taking a shot at a couple of different players. That is the one area that Brad Holmes has yet to draft a stud. I mean, he truthfully hasn't really tried, right? So you can't fault him for that. But this is the one area that the Lions have continued to struggle. Do you think Davis is the answer for man-to-man as a man-to-man coverage corner? Do you think he's the answer, Carlton Davis? Do you think Imec Robertson is the answer? If not, you may want to do something. Here's the problem when you look at this board. Cooper DeJean, don't know where he's at with coverage skills. Man-to-man. Didn't do it a lot. Wasn't asked to do it a lot at Iowa. Just wasn't asked to do it a lot. So you're not sure what he is, but you know he can do absolutely everything else. Absolutely everything else. Nate Wiggins. All right. He has all the tools to be an elite cover corner, has all the tools in the world, but at 173 pounds, can he come up and play the run well? Has not shown a willingness to do it, as you can see by 29 tackles. Kool-Aid McKinstry, if you ask me, like, he's a better Enos Rakestraw Jr. I see him come up. He's willing to make tackles. He can be a good defender. If my money's there and there's all things even, Kool-Aid's my guy. Kool-Aid is my guy. All right. And so that's just kind of where I'm at. You look at his RAS and he didn't run or anything like that. So you're just hoping he's fast. But we've talked, and Brad Holmes has come out and said it, and Dan Campbell has come out and said it. And they've talked about consistently about how they don't care as much about the 40 speed or anything like that. They're all about laser speed. They're about how fast is the guy on the field? How fast is the guy in cleats? And that's what you want to see. If you want to trade out of the first round, Mike Sainristil is a great add. TJ Tampa, if he's still sitting there when you have your second round pick, I don't think he'll get there, but absolutely go for it. The guy's stacked. He's shown the ability to do quite a few things. Just hasn't maybe necessarily put everything together at this moment. So that's where I'm sitting with the corner. I don't know, where are you guys at though? Is corner still a position that you want to see us go for? Is it or isn't it? And those are the questions that I have. How happy would you be if, all right, like Devin wanted, I'll show his same comment back again. All right. Would you be happy if Roger Goodell went up to the podium? Are you going, by the way? And if you're not going to the draft, you better be watching it with us, right? But would you be happy if Roger Goodell comes up to the podium and says, with the 29th pick in the 2024 NFL draft, the Detroit Lions select Kool-Aid McKinstry? How would you be feeling about that? You know, we love Alabama players. You know, we love Iowa players. And you know, we like Michigan players. So it'd just be kind of interesting to see what they would say for that. And here's Johnny. I agree with you. This is a big year for Brad Holmes. It's a big year for Brad Holmes.